War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. What's up, people? Back once again, and good old humanity strikes again. We can never live in peace and harmony, it seems. There has to be destruction and pillaging and war, which is what we're seeing. I did a video a week back talking about how we have to avoid all of this stuff due to our mental health, but you can't avoid this one. It is everywhere, and I mean everywhere. It's trending, number one. It's on socials. People even talking about it in the supermarket, in the fishmongers. People are talking about it. It's crazy. People are asking me in the fishmongers, wow, what do you think's going to happen? I'm like, mate, I just want my haddock, man. Like, what's going on? Like, but anyway, I'm gonna address what I feel about it on this video. I'm not into geopolitics. People watching this will know way more than me, but I'm gonna give my sort of 41 years experience on this earth. So I've been watching some of this stuff, some of the the little press conference clips and stuff like that, and I don't know, I'm watching it, I keep getting the whole WMD, weapons of mass destruction feel to it. The boogeyman of the Middle East. And I'm like, oh, they're building arms that can threaten the world. And I'm like, I've heard this one before. And when I heard it, it didn't go quite the way you were portraying it to go. I've heard this WMD, weapons of mass destruction one. It's funny, well, it's not funny, but they've been talking about Iran and nuclear weapons since the 90s. I remember Netanyahu talking about it. He was talking about how, Iran are building, they're closer to nuclear warheads and they're getting closer to it, and this is the country to be feared and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, why now? Why now have America intervened? From all these years this is supposed to be going on, they're the big bad wolves. Why now? Funny how a week from when Israeli and Iran fighting begun, now America's kind of like come in and swooped it up and done their destruction. It's almost like, Iran and Israel going back and forth, and they're like, Israel like, all right, cool, hold on, let me call the boy then because it's getting a bit sticky. I was like, yeah, mate, we got our hands all over your muttons, mate, all over your pits, all over everything you do. Get in here, come help us. And America obliged, as the lapdogs they are, it seems. It's sad. It's sad because you just think, what's going to be in the back of this? What's going to happen? It's never an eye for an eye, or it is an eye for an eye, but an eye for an eye becomes blind. Like it's never just, oh, we do our thing, that's it. Trump's talking about, war will bring peace. Well, that doesn't work. The other party always waiting to do their due diligence, their comeback. Like, you started it, we'll finish it. And in the art of war, you strike when they're least expecting it. So when's the strike going to happen? It's funny, I watched this press conference and it reminds me of, I don't know if it's just me, but it reminds me of Independence Day. When the aliens get the scientists and it's behind the glass and it's speaking to the president due to via telepathy. And, the president's like, can there be a peace? No peace. What is it you want us to do? Die. That old propaganda thing. And I just get the sense that it's another form of propaganda. I could be totally wrong. I know they're saying death to America and all this kind of stuff, but you've got places in America saying death to America, but you're not doing anything. And like I said, there's certain things that are not being spoken about, such as the fact that Putin is quite close to the leader of Iran. So what happens with that? I heard that they're asking him, like, yeah, what would you do, Putin, if Iran and leader was assassinated, all that kind of stuff? And he was like, oh, I don't even want to speak about that. So that shows me that, yeah, he's got some ties to Iran there. So what happens if it's like, yo, You've done your thing. What? Do I need to swoop in? Like, or what? Ain't no Putin's on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's never going to just end with, oh, yeah, we did our thing and now they're going to know better not to retaliate. It doesn't end like that, man. When does it ever end like that? Now, do I think there's going to be a World War III? Well, I don't know. There's always been fighting in the Middle East. There's never peace in the Middle East. So there's always fighting. There's always wars. And so I don't think there will be a war, but you never know. This is prophesized, of World War III, the end of days, the end of man. And if it is, it might be this time. But hey, man, this is hell on earth anyway. So, you know, at least you'll be with your loved ones in the other life, you know. That's why I see it. This is the hell on earth. If anything happens, we go into the promised land, man. So, but, you know, I don't know if this World War III will happen. Oh, on a side note, did you know that the B-2 bombers, these are the ones that carried out the attacks on behalf of the United States? You know, each plane cost, is it 2.2 billion? Each plane cost 2.2 billion, each B-2 plane. Each bomb, by the way, cost 200 million. Each one that was dropped cost like 200 million. These are ones that were used. I'm not talking about the ones that are just sitting at home, sitting in the airbase or whatnot. You know, so they give off this, you know, it's poverty out here and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, not when it comes to war, my friend. Not when it comes to war. I think Tupac says something along those lines, actually. It's poverty until it's like war, something along those lines. There's never no poverty in war. Which is apparently so. You know, and listen, what I do know is that you're going to have to arm yourself. There's going to be a lot, and I don't mean by weapons, I mean mentally. It's going to be a lot of media, a lot of news, a lot of coverage, a lot of fear-mongering. If it ain't blaming education, it's the bug. If it ain't the bug, it's loss of jobs. It ain't there's always something. It's the health sector. The health sector is massive student loans. I mean, there's always something. So they're going to push this one out, and it's yet another attack on our minds. Another attack. It ain't the family. It's always something they're attacking. This is another one. It's going to be an attack on your mental solitude, your mental health. So you're going to have to be careful with that. Arm yourself by disarming the media, disarming all the news and the noise and stuff like that. Because again, you can't, unless you have Iron Man, like I say, on speed dial, and it may take someone more than that. You may need Superman and the Hulk. Like, you can't do anything. So you need to arm your mind, preserve your mind, because it's going to be, trust me, it's going to come. It's going to be all over. And it's going to scare you. World War III, we're going to die. It's going to be all of that. Yeah, so arm yourself with mental strength and watch your spirit. Anyway, that's all my thoughts on this, man. Let me know what you think. I'm sure there's people that know way more than me about it and have strong views on it. Is Trump right? Is Trump wrong? That's one of the ones I really want to hear. Because, you know, I thought, and I was leaning on Trump because, you know, the whole things he's promising. But then I should have known these people can never be trusted. You know, these people, you know, I'm like, you guys are always sickos and can never be trusted. At least you just sort out the country you're in. Like, at least do that. Hear all these rumors of them and kids and boys and all this kind of stuff. At least one of you sickos sort out the land. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, besides the point. Let me know what you think. Is he right? Is he wrong? I don't know. You let me know what you think. Give me the HBO special, people. Help a brother out. Comment, like, and subscribe. All the good stuff, man. I appreciate the support thus far. Keep on supporting, man. And yeah, man, share this video if you can as well. Let's just get these kind of messagings out, because I think we all need to unite in ourselves in regards to this, you know, and the messaging of, you know, of health and betterment for society as a whole and community, and just keep ourselves clued up and have our little community where we believe in good. Do you know what I'm saying? And we don't want none of this nonsense. We don't want this war. I know the people don't. When we get them, put them, you know, load them up with guns and stuff, let them do it. But you know that won't happen. Anyway, people, I am going into the next one. Peace.